Who's Terry Munroe?
Terry Munroe? Terry Munroe? Terry Munroe? Terry Munroe? I have no idea.
Well, somebody's searching awfully hard for records. Not elegant, but creative, with a mean streak. He's jumping through systems faster than I can track him.
Faster than you can track him? How do we catch your son, big block? What the hell is that? What is that, dental records?
What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great week. It's hump day. We're almost to Friday. It's almost there. I can't wait. I got one more day of working, then I'm going to take off for New Year's weekend. But right now, I want to discuss a movie that I think is highly underrated. It's actually celebrating its 29th anniversary tomorrow. It's a little gem that I personally enjoy that I think should deserve a little bit more appreciation and recognition. Ghost in the Machine. Now this movie, it's directed by Rachel Talalay, who also directed Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and Tank Girl. It stars Karen Allen as Terry Munroe, who you might also remember from the Indiana Jones franchise, and also Scrooged with Bill Murray. She plays a single mother who discovers her and her son's lives are in danger when the address book killer, who also works in a computer shop, continues to prey on her friends and family after he gets into a car accident that allows his soul to travel via electric wires, and uses that to his advantage in order to dispatch his victims in some pretty gruesome ways. Now, basically, he's known as the address book killer because he steals an address book and kills those that are listed in the address book. Basically, they're like friends and family or whoever they work with. So I'm going to get into a little bit of the spoilers. It's not really a spoiler through the whole movie. It's just how it's kind of set up. So basically, there's like a she goes and Terry goes into the computer shop, and she's needing to get some kind of organization for her boss. They got like a planner that's got everything all kind of disorganized. So she is informed of this software that allows her to organize everything in there. And she pulls out her address book, which is kind of, cluttered, and the clerk suggests one for herself, and jokingly, well, anyways, they put the names in the computer, and before she ends up deleting them, the names are stored in the computer. So this guy Carl, who's the killer, is able to get a hold of that information, and he saves it for later. And of course, that very night there's like a torrential rainstorm, and he ends up getting into an accident and is taken to the hospital where he's put in an MRI machine. And he basically just, before he dies, his soul kind of escapes and goes through the machine and escapes the hospital. So now he's like in the form of this electric current that flows like freely everywhere. So he's pretty much an open range. He can get anywhere, get to anybody, as whoever he pleases. So, and he has this information stored in there where he knows all these certain people. So he pretty much picks Terry as his next victim. So he continues his rampage by taking out different these people that she's associated with in some pretty gruesome ways. In a way, this movie kind of sets the stage for what Final Destination would be, because it's in this movie, instead of death being the killer, it's an actual killer in the form of this electric current that's roaming free. There's this tech whiz, Bram Walker, played by Chris Mulkey. He basically, after he finds that all this information is coming, that's showing up in their computer, in their system, he goes to inform her and say, hey, all these statements and everything are showing up here. You might have a hacker that's trying to get to your information and everything. So basically he's trying to help them track this killer down, or this entity that's stalking her and destroy him once and for all. That's the basic plot for this movie, and honestly, I really enjoy it. This is a really fun movie. This is a movie that really should get a lot more attention. I know that it was made on a $12 million budget and it only made like $5 million. So it was a box office flop and it didn't receive very good reviews upon release. But I think after 30 years, I think it's gotten a little bit more appreciation. But I think it's still being overlooked, and I think that it should be viewed a lot more because it's even though that it is a 30-year-old movie. It's from the 90s. It's got a lot of. It might be a little outdated considering this 90s tech. It's still a fun little nostalgic movie to go on because you go back to look at because there's some really good visuals. Like for one, the cast is really great. Karen Allen is terrific. Chris Mulkey is great. Even Will Horneff and the guy that plays the killer, Ted Marco, he's actually pretty good. Another supporting member that I want to mention that's actually don't have a whole lot of screen time, but she's kind of the eye candy of the movie. Siobhan Durkin, who you might recognize from the Leprechaun 2. She plays like the Munroe's next door neighbor / babysitter. I'm just gonna go ahead and say she's basically there as eye candy and basically just to add to the body count for real. But she's nice to look at. Let's just say I'm a guy. That's just how I feel. But yeah, she dies pretty gruesomely. Dies pretty gruesome. Actually, it's actually pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna lie to you. She gets electrocuted. But yeah, and the death scenes are actually pretty good. I mean, you have one guy who basically gets shot by a microwave, and he like pretty much his face kind of gets all blistery, and I mean it's pretty bad. Another guy after a false scare, with a test crash, with a crash test car, he gets blown in the face by one of those dryers and the bathroom dryers. When you dry your hands, he presses the button and the fire just goes right in his face and sets him on fire pretty much. Let's see what else. That's all that really comes to mind right now. But and the visual effects in this movie are actually pretty good, especially in the third act. Whenever they are actually confronting them and they're able to eject him out of the system and lure him out of the system and into this magnetic field where all you see from him, and he's like this crazy atom form. But yeah, that's the only, like I said, the only negative thing that I have to say about it is the fact that it might be a little outdated. It is in the 90s. We're so consumed with the modern, our modern technology that we've really advanced. It kind of looks weird to watch this, but it's still a pretty good nostalgic feeling for this movie. But like I said, it deserves a lot more recognition. It deserves a lot more love. A lot more watches. Great performances from Karen Allen and Chris Mulkey. Just a great substitute for the slasher. A great substitute for the missing out on like Freddy Krueger, because we had Freddy's Dead that came out 2 years earlier before this when Rachel Talalay directed that one. After that, we didn't see any more. We didn't see any more of Freddy until New Nightmare, which was a year later. We didn't see any more Jason until Jason Goes to Hell came out at the same time as this did. So we had that one, which it wasn't really technically Jason. It was just basically his soul that was, possessed and possessing other bodies. And we didn't, like I said, we didn't get Jason until Freddy vs. Jason or Jason X, and then we had New Nightmare, and then Freddy vs. Jason. So this was kind of right when the slasher icon of slashers kind of took a hiatus. Up until Curse of Michael Myers in '95, and then H2O and all that. We had Michael Myers still in the '90s a little bit, But yeah, if you've never seen Ghost in the Machine, I recommend going to check it out. Checking it out. I think it's only streaming on like Vudu and Amazon Prime. You'll have to rent it. It's not for free anywhere unless you get the DVD, which I'm sure you can find it cheap somewhere. But since it's an old movie, but it's really good. I recommend checking it out. Thank you guys for your support. I know that this is the end of the year. This has been a great year here. I'm hoping that I'm gonna have a lot more stuff for you guys in 2023. I know that I'm gonna have my top 10 movies of 2022 ready for you guys this weekend. Also, my top 10 horror movies of 2022, and also I just want to take a minute to, just like I said, thanks for your support. I really appreciate it, especially thanks to some of my biggest influences on YouTube. You guys are my inspiration. You're the reason that I decided to try to do this. Thank you to Chris Stutman, Chris Parker at 3C Films, Cody Leach, Jimmy Champagne, and of course I can't forget Mike. We watched the movie. You are just the greatest. You are hilarious. We do jokes and everything. You have a really great sense of humor, and I really enjoy watching your videos. So you're the man. But don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you've seen Ghost in the Machine. What do you think about it? Stay tuned for more of my videos. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.